All right, guys, what's going on? Goofy Rexy here, and hope everybody is doing well. And we got an offer last night that sparked a little bit of conversation in the Discord, or at least definitely in some chats that I was seeing here. And it's whether or not this offer is actually a good offer. Is it valuable for beginner players? I'm talking about this one right here, the Symbiote offer that we got that has a day left on it. So I know some players are probably trying to make an assessment here, probably be more so beginner players are trying to make an assessment as to whether or not this is actually a good offer. And is this actually a valuable offer for beginners? And I'm going to talk about a lot of stuff. I'm going to talk about the pros. I'm going to talk about the cons of this offer here and talk about whether or not this is something that I probably would even consider depending on where I'm at in the game. But here's my thought. If you're going to ask me if this is a good offer for beginner players, I'm going to say it's a decent offer. It has a ceiling on it, though. I want to say that right now. If you're looking to buy this offer as a beginner player, understand that this offer has a ceiling, right? We know about the new Web Warriors team coming into Marvel Strike Force. The thing that we don't know, though, is how the Web Warriors are going to be released in Marvel Strike Force. Now we can assume and guess, right? There's so many options that we have available. There's Strike Pass, there's an event store now that we've seen, there's an event campaign, there's Blitz, there's a few ways, right, that we know that characters can be released. So as a beginner player, you probably have to make the assessment, hey, is event store gonna be reliable for me? Is Strike Pass gonna be reliable for me? All those other ones, how does that work out? Now let's evaluate this offer for what it is. It is a $50 offer for 3 4-star characters, SSM, Carnage, and AV, and then you have Venom and Scream where you can get them at 3 stars. Now Venom and Scream are the easier characters to farm, so I think the reason why they decided to go with SSM, Carnage, and an AV as the character that they gave you 4 stars for is because they're probably already assuming that some players already have shards for Scream and Venom, so therefore they're like, hey, we'll give you the shards for the 2 characters that are in the War Store and then the 1 character that's in the Doom campaign, right? I get it. So usually we see offers for $30 for 50 shards, so right then and there, $50 you're getting some pretty decent shards, right? Now, as a beginner player, if you're looking to purchase this offer, you got to understand that this offer is going to have a ceiling. This team is a good team. They're a good team, but they are currently being used in endgame. But I want to say this, if you're a beginner player, I don't want you to focus too much on endgame because endgame is going to change because as you continue to play the game, new characters get released into the game. And when those new characters get released into the game, they take over whatever was previously endgame. So don't get yourself wound up in thinking about, man, if this offer is endgame viable, I must buy it because of that reason. Yeah, like slow your roll, man. You're not at endgame yet, so don't fully worry about it. If you want to worry about endgame, there are certain endgame legendaries to farm for, right? Like Omega Red, Adam Warlock, Jubilee, like those are endgame things that you should probably focus on or be concerned about, at least plan out per se. But when we're evaluating this offer, man, like I said, this offer has a ceiling for me, man. So the way I look at this is I'm paying $50 to get these characters, but more importantly, I'm getting SSM and I'm getting AV, which is a pretty good tandem in Marvel Strike Force. There are also hero characters, Hero City characters that you're going to be able to use for some of the later campaign nodes, like your Villains chapter, your Hero Chapter 7. They're also a good team that you can use. The entire Symbiote team is a team that you can use for raids, right? So you can use them in your Ultimates raids. Keep in mind, you're also going to be able to use the Web Warriors team. I could definitely see where the value is for being able to get 4 stars on SSM, getting 4 stars on AV, and then teaming them up with some of because there's Spider-Verse, there's Spider-Verse characters, right? So there is going to be something in the, there are Spider-Verse characters. So there is going to be some synergy that SSM is going to be able to help out with some of the Web Warrior characters that are there. So there's going to be value there, right? There's going to be value for getting SSM and getting AV and getting the rest of the characters. What if you're not going to be able to get the other Web Warriors at adequate stars? Then the symbiotes will be able to help to get you through some of the raid content. There's also challenges, the Gold Rush challenge where you need city characters, having higher stars on on characters here will give you the option of being able to climb up in higher tiers. So this team will help with the gold rush. You have AV and SSM that are Hero City characters that you get in them at 4 stars because you probably can't get some other characters at 4 stars for the block party event is going to be helpful. So being able to get good stars on, being able to get a 4-star Hero City characters like SSM and AV will also be helpful to you as well. Now you may ask me the question, what about Dark Dimension? No. I don't think that you want to take this team in Dark Dimension anymore. I don't think that you want to put Orange Gear on this team. Like, no, like pause on that. You can probably convince me, right, about SSM and AV, but no, I don't think there's other characters now, guys, that are in this game that are good for Dark Dimension. Well, what about Hero City? If I'm mid game, like what about Hero City? I'm going to be able to get higher shards on these characters. I can probably almost guarantee you that if you're probably further on into mid game, a little bit further into mid game, you might actually be able to get decent stars on some of the characters for Web Warriors. I just don't think that you want to invest Orange Gear into this team anymore. I think that really you're probably going to want to cap this team out if you're going to invest into them at level 71, gear tier 12, and that's probably where you're going to want to leave them. You could probably make a case for AV and SSM, like I said, and I've said it multiple times before, but I just don't think that this team is a Dark Dimension team. So that's the ceiling on the team, right? The ceiling is this is not a Dark Dimension team anymore. This is a very early enough beginner team that can kind of help you to get you through some content here. There's some villain characters that are here with Scream and with Venom and with Carnage. There's some villain characters there. You have some hero characters with Symbiote Spider-Man, with AV. Like, you have some good value there. You got a full raid team that you can use as well. We talked about Block Party. We talked about the challenges in the game, but no, I think that's it. We talked about the Heroes campaign. You need Hero City characters. We talked about that as well. Like, this offer at $50 is decent. If you're willing to spend money in the game, this is a decent offer, and I do think that you can get some good value out of this offer. I just want to be clear that this offer has a ceiling. I just want to be clear about it. I don't want anybody to come back and say, "Hey, Goofy said that this is a team that I want to be taking to end game, and I want to." I want to go gung-ho and put it all my resources into. No, I never said that. I never said that. This team has a ceiling, and you have to understand that if you're going to invest into this team, that this is pretty much that's pretty much the cap. 71 gear tier 12, probably 65 gear tier 11 for some of the other characters, maybe 71 gear tier 12 for SSM and AV. You could probably make a case that maybe they're still viable. Yes, Doom raids are important. I get it. But we're talking about, we got to keep this in context, man. Doom raids, yes, they're still viable end game, but we got to keep this in context that for a beginner player, that I don't think you should be worrying about end game raids yet. I just don't think you should be worrying about end game raids yet, because those can change. Those can change. That's all I'm saying. Invest smartly, invest wisely, watch the game. Probably have to pivot every now and again. But this, like I said, this is kind of where the ceiling is for this offer. So if you're looking to make a purchase here on this offer, just understand the evaluation of it. Understand where this team is probably going to land in the game. Web Warriors is going to be the new hotness right now. If you can get shards on those characters, you're probably going to replace a lot of these characters that are currently here. But it's a good $50 offer to get at least. The way I'm evaluating it, man, you're getting an SSM, you're getting AV shards, 4-star characters for $50. It's not a terrible offer. It is pretty pricey, I want to say that, but it's not a terrible offer. It's a decent offer for beginner players. But until next time, guys, want to know what your guys' thoughts are. What do you think about this offer here? You think it's a good value offer for you, even where you are in the game? You might be mid game, you might be late game. Where are you right now? How do you evaluate this offer moving forward? That's kind of where my evaluation is on kind of where I think about this offer right now. But appreciate you guys watching the video. Leave it in the comments. Until next time, guys, y'all be blessed. Hey, y'all be safe. Man, I really, this offer is late, isn't it? This offer should have been out like 6 months ago. Like 6 months ago. My evaluation on this offer would have changed if this was out 6 months ago. 6 months ago. Damn, this game is late sometimes.